Well, hello there, and good afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Fashion Flair Friday. I'm Marian Gellatley. I'm your host almost every week on Friday at 12 noon Pacific Time. And I am a long-standing image master and wardrobe coach, and I love bringing you tips every single week to help you kind of sort through and design and find a style that really speaks to you. I also love to share with you, what's current, what's new, what's coming. And so that's what I am going to be doing today. So let's see. I don't think I have anyone on yet, so I'm going to wait just a minute or two. There's always seems to be a little bit of a lag. Well, welcome. Hi, Janice. Good to see you. And we're all getting ready for the Memorial Day weekend, so I have a feeling we're going to have a sparse crowd today, but glad you can make it. So today, I wanted to talk about what's happening in the world of jewelry. You know that I think that jewelry is just so important in terms of, polishing style and staying current and just, loving what you see in the mirror. And so I wanted to talk to you about modernizing jewelry. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of things from my mom, and I even have a few things from grandma that I don't really wear, but I have them. And it's always fun when you can figure out ways, how do I work this into, what's happening today? And should I, or should I move forward? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we go through today. But what I wanted to share with you is what I am seeing right now in the marketplace as the top nine jewelry items that I think every woman should have in her wardrobe. Now, I did. After I made my list, I went into my own stash and I thought, okay, let me see what do I have and is there something maybe that I need? So I'm going to show you a combination of things that I found pictures of what's happening in the marketplace, but also I'll go ahead and show you what I found in my stash that really fits each category. So with that in mind, let's get started. Let me see, who else do I have here? I see I have a few people. So other than Janice, say hi and let me know you're here. And that just helps me feel like I'm not all alone. So anyway, let's get started. All right, I've got some pictures for you. And the first thing I want to talk about is the chain necklace. And so what I am wearing today is something that has been in my stash for a long time. And it's not looking exactly like what I'm seeing in the marketplace today, but I think it comes close enough that I'm definitely going to start wearing it again. I probably have had this necklace for about 20 years, and I wore it for a long time when it was, you know, kind of cool to do that, wear the chains. Well, they went out of style for a long time and they are now back. So it can be chunky like this one is, it can be more delicate, but I think that chain necklaces really are a modern classic, and I think we should look at it that way. So a chunky necklace really can kind of stand on its own. It doesn't need to be combined with anything else. And this is three strands. They're all attached together, but it builds up the chunkiness and it can stand by itself. I don't need to do anything more. It's a combination of gold and silver and some bronze as well. And I used to wear a lot of brown when my hair was browner, but my eyes are still brown, so there's really no reason why I shouldn't wear it. All right, so with that in mind, let me show you some things that I found. This would be what I would call more of the delicate chain necklace. Some people call it a paper clip necklace. The one up on top is what is called the paper clip necklace, but you can see she has taken three chains of different sizes and paired them together to build them up and to make a statement. And this is one that can really stand on its own. Now you'll notice that these happen to be in a gold finish, and so you want to choose the finish that really works with your personal coloring. Gold, as you may know, has become very prevalent again, but not all people can wear gold. So you could do this chunky necklace in a silver as well, and you can do the previous finer, delicate ones also in silver or white gold or whatever the case may be. So with a delicate chain, what I've noticed is that some of them have little crystals on them or little pearls, but yet there's a chain base, if you will, of the necklace. So that would be one thing to think of. This is my nod to that, but I also found this in my stash, which I've had quite a long time, and I haven't worn this for years either. So guess what? I'll be pulling this out and wearing it too and calling it my chain necklace. So take a peek. What do you have? All right, the second type of jewelry that I think every woman has or needs to have is a pendant necklace. So that is something that can go within the neckline of a jacket. It can go within the neckline of a button-down blouse. It can go on top of a sweater, a cashmere sweater, if you will. And here are some examples of what a pendant necklace would look like. So you can see it's definitely on the daintier side. It can be colored like what you see right here, which I think is really pretty. It can be gold with a mixture of either the real thing diamonds or the not real thing, or it can be something like an initial or a little fish or a flower or whatever is special and important to you. So these are more simple. They're certainly more delicate. They can be chunky, but they're usually minimal. And the other thing it could be from your stash would maybe be a special locket from your mom, or, I don't know, something fun that you've had for a while. It could be a charm that you can put on a chain and call it a pendant. So what do you have that can create some interest at the neckline within your collar of a jacket or a blouse to bring your jewelry collection up to today's modern looks? I don't think I pulled anything for that, as a matter of fact. So I'm not one that does a lot of pendants, and yet I really would like to. So that's going to go onto my list. And by the way, after the recording today, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put a link into a jewelry catalog that I created for you. So you can go in and probably see 6 or 7 or 8 other options to give you some further ideas of what to look for as you're considering purchases. Hi, Betty. Good to see you as well. All right, so we had the chain necklace and the pendant necklace. And then we have the bangle. The bangle, it's back. Well, it really never went anywhere. But we're seeing, as you can see here, some more streamlined, minimal designs. I think that's what I've noticed about most of this, that the looks are a little streamlined. They're simplistic. They may be chunky, but they're simplistic. And this, I think, adds a lot of modernity to an outfit, and definitely can update maybe a special bracelet that you always do wear. So combine them a little bit, and you can see how in this case, a simple and maybe a little textural or a little chunkier with even a charm or a stone on the end. By the way, colored stones are very, very big this year. Or something like this that I always like to do sets of three. Odd numbers are always good. Let's see, do I have anything on today? Yes, I do. Okay, so this is my three. So I actually have more of a cuff bangle. And then this is a really pretty bangle that my husband gave me years ago. And then I paired it with something that had a little bit of the bronze and a little bit of the brown in it to go back with what I'm wearing today. So they're all different, but they all sort of relate to one another. So have some fun and just build up your own combination of arm candy. All right, then we had the chain necklace. Now we've got the chain bracelet. And the reason I have all three of these is I wanted you to see that they can be of varying sizing, and that might be based on your wrist, the scale of your wrist. It might be just your personality, where maybe you like things daintier, or maybe you like things bolder. So it can be from a diamond tennis bracelet to a chunky gold chain bracelet like you see here. The options really are endless, and they can, once again, stand on their own, or they can be part of a bracelet stack. I like to store my bracelets on just a round jewelry bar. And so I keep them out on top of my dresser so that I can see them, because I believe that if you can see something, you will wear it. If it's stuffed down in a drawer, chances are you will totally forget that you have it. So anything that you can do to get it out, see it, but also kind of enhance the beauty of your dressing area, I think is a great thing. So just a simple bar. I think I bought mine, well, now it's not even around anymore, but Beverly's Fabrics. But you could probably, just go ahead and Google that, or go to Amazon and say bracelet bar or bracelet storage, and see what comes up. All right. The next piece that is back in a really big way, again, not that it ever was out of our repertoire, but more so than anything. And, kind of some of these things go in and out of trendiness, but they never really go out of style. But modern hoops. Modern hoops are simple and they're sculptural, but check your box and see what you have. Here are some examples of different scales, of different metals, and not metals, as you can see right here. Some in silver, some in gold, some with embellishment like CZs or possibly diamonds. So what do you have in terms of your hoop earrings? Now I pulled out some hoop earrings. And I haven't been wearing hoop earrings. I've been wearing pretty long drop earrings. But again, all of these I've had for a long time. So very simple, but kind of textural, which I think is pretty. So I'm pulling that back out. And then in terms of sizing, these were my mom's. Much smaller, but again, textural. And these get even smaller yet. So guess what? Out they come, and onto my ears they will be. Now they could be silver or gold, depending again on what you most wear predominantly. The next thing that should be in your wardrobe repertoire is the stud earring. Some examples here. I have always been a stud kind of woman, but a lot of women are not. They just preferred either the hoops or they preferred the long danglies. But these are the more modern and new styles of studs. I think these are anything but basic, and they're really a fabulous choice if you want to put on your jewelry and forget about it for a while. You can wear these day in and day out, whether they're a colored stone, whether they're a pearl, whether they're a hammered gold, or whether they're a combination of gold and silver. All really pretty. I have these that I have had again for years. These are John Hardy's, and these are just my go-to stud earrings that when I want to call attention right up to my face and I don't want anything dangly, these just fit nice and tight to my ear, and I love them because I love texture. All right, next is the pearl necklace. So let's see. They're classic, aren't they? But they can also be very fun. They can also border on matronly if you're not careful. So make sure you update your classic string of pearls by pairing them possibly with something else. Pairing them with a chunky chain, or choose an updated take on the pearl necklace, like with these two options here, very updated. These are definitely more classic. But guess what? You could put these two together and really have a very modern, elegant statement. So, what do I have in terms of the pearl look that is modern? You probably see me wear these a lot. Okay, big. I like the size of them, but they don't, and I also like the shape of them. They're more oval. I also like the hardware. I think that's what makes this very modern. But as I say, I could have combined, and I do combine sometimes. Let me just show you. Another chain necklace that I have in the silver, I combine it with the pearl, and there you have another look that I oftentimes wear on these calls or on these recordings. So you see, when you compare them and combine them, you can build them up in size if you like to do that. And if maybe you don't have this scale to begin with, do whatever scale is right for you. Here is another necklace that I purchased about a couple of years ago, I think it was. And this would be a modern take, I would say, on the pearl look. Okay, so what do you have in your closet or in your jewelry drawer that gives you pearls, but how can you update and how can you modernize them? All right, the eighth thing that I really encourage you to have is some sort of a statement ring. Something again in a metal or an alloy that you enjoy. This is got, have you been able to tell that everything that I have has a lot of texture to it? And you might understand that one of the reasons why I like to wear texture is because I have a lot of texture in my hair. And so it just works for me. Anything really smooth and refined, I don't particularly care for. And that's what style is all about. Style is about how you interpret what's going on in the marketplace and how you make it your own. Fashion sort of dictates what the trends are, but style dictates taking the trends and making them be who you are. So a statement necklace, a statement ring would be one. This would be one sort of a look, more of a, well, it's got silver and it's got gold, both. But I can wear this for business very nicely or for social. I also have this one, which is a moonstone that my husband gave me, which is also very pretty. So a statement ring. And here are some of the things that are happening right now in the marketplace. And look at the combination of this particular hand with, you might be inclined to want to really stack up everything either on one finger or on multiple fingers and make it a real design element for you. Or you might like one big statement, and that is simple and uncluttered and very refined. This might be what I would call a little bit more bohemian, and this is more elegant and dramatic. So what do you have that fits the bill for a statement ring? Here's another thing, which is called the subtle ring. So look at right here. All of these are individual rings, slim and stackable and delicate. And yet, look what happens when you pair them all together, you build them up on that finger, and now it becomes a statement ring. So whether it is one ring, like what you see here, that is more simple and just on its own, or whether it is, I don't know how many are there, but maybe 10 slim stackables, and make it a statement, that is another alternative. So what do you have in your jewelry wardrobe? So we have got, let's just review it. We've got the chain necklace, we've got the pendant necklace, we've got the bangle, we've got the chain bracelet. This is the year of chains. We've got the hoop earring, the stud earring, a pearl necklace of some sort that's modern. We've got the statement ring. We've got the subtle ring. And as a bonus, I want you to know colored gemstones are where it's at. They have been on hiatus for a while, but colored stones, you will notice if you start looking online or you go into the stores, that they are back in a big way. And so if you've got them, get them back out. If you don't have them and you are looking for something, either a necklace, an earring, a bracelet, or a ring, and you want it to be in your favorite color, whether that's a ruby or a garnet or a sapphire or a turquoise, whatever the case may be, this is your year. So let's see if we have any comments here. There is a Beverly's in SoCal. Well, now wouldn't you know that, Peggy? Here I live here and I don't know that. So, and you live on the East Coast and you know because you are a fabulous seamstress and know where to find these kinds of things. So wonderful. I'm glad to know that. And as I'm passing through SoCal, I'll have to stop in and take a peek. So any questions from any of you that are watching today? I don't see any questions. So maybe we're going to wrap up a little sooner today. Oh, hi, Diane. Good. I'll have to catch the rest on YouTube. Well, actually, you can come right back here because it stays right here in this group. So you can go to YouTube for sure, but you can come back always to this group. And this is where you're going to find the link to the catalog that's going to show you lots of other options. I showed you just printed off a few here and there, but I've got a lot more in the catalog for you to see. So in each category, you'll see some great options. You can always click on the picture. It will take you to the retailer site where you can read about it and see the pricing if you're interested. And certainly if you ever wanted to purchase, you could, but it's a resource for you to have to refer back to. So I hope you're all going to have fun for this weekend. Betty says resale shops are a great place to buy jewelry. Yes, they are, for sure. So do consider that. Consignment, resale. And we've got a few in our area. Betty, I know you have a few in Pacific Grove. I think Spirals is one. And what is the other one in PG? And in Monterey, there are a few. Nice is one of the ones that I have used in the past. So, continue, and especially those of you that are going to be watching this at a later time, go ahead and put your resources in here so we can all share them. Janice, you're up in wine country, so if you know of any great places, either boutiques or any great resale shops up in your area, by all means, put it in here because I'm sure there are a lot of people that travel from here up there and from there down here. And how fun to be able to have resources and know where we're going. Diane says the Discovery Shop. Yes, absolutely. That's over in PG. And all the monies that they raise at the Discovery Shop goes to breast cancer research. I I actually donate quite a bit to that store. So, and they're so appreciative always. All right, and Peggy, you said I was surprised that Beverly's was part of last year's fabric shop hop by the Bay in June. Okay, well, I'm not sure what shop hop by the Bay is, but that sounds interesting, doesn't it? And Discovery Shop, Betty says, has a jewelry event. And I remember, Betty, a couple of years back, well, it was pre-COVID, you had invited me to a accessory swap, I think it was, and I was unable to attend and I was so disappointed. So that might be something to even think about in your communities, to have a swap where you could all come together, each one of you bring, 5 pieces or 10 pieces, whatever it is, and you put it out and you just swap it. No money's exchanged. It's all a swap. And I don't know, Betty, if the one you went to, was there money swapped or purchased, or was it just a total swap? So, share what you know about if you've been to jewelry swaps. I'm having trouble talking today. Share ideas. And for those of us that all live down on the Monterey Peninsula, maybe we could get together and do something together. That would be a lot of fun. So I hope that now you've got some ideas of what to look for when you're going into your consignment or your resale shops, and have fun. And I'm sure not everybody knows what these trends are, so you just might find some great pieces as you're snooping around town. So that's it for today. I wish you all a very happy Memorial Day weekend and get some, outside time and hopefully enjoy the sun if we can find it. I don't see it out there. I still see fog. So have a great week, and I will, let's see, next week is actually the 2nd of June. I will not be here next week on Friday. You know why? Because one of my grandsons is graduating and I'm going to be at his graduation that day. So I won't see you next week, but I will definitely see you the following week. So take care. And by the way, Marcia Miller, who is one of our group members, she wrote me and had a topic that she would like me to talk about. Actually, I've got 2 topics now. One is eyeglasses, and I'm going to bring in an expert to talk about that at her convenience. It probably will be later in June. And Marcia wanted me to talk about whether, now that summer is here and everybody's wanting to wear white, should you be wearing white or should you not? So we will talk about white versus ivory and what things you have to take into consideration to make that decision. So that's it for now, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye now.